How's my hair? Do I look fat?
Good. All right, so what? We're about 5 miles out from Sturgis. We've had a nice drive so far. No issues. No wheels flying off, anything like that. Really cool. We've had Bear with Whiteknuckler knives join our trip with us this year. Bear's a really good friend. How long we know each other, Bear?
What is it, like 20 years, something like that?
Yeah, it's been a minute. How many years have you been coming out here to Sturgis?
So I'm racing. The last decade I've been out on the salt during Sturgis. But,
that's right.
Yeah. So I just, kind of picked it back up from back in the day, and I took the records that I wanted, so the magic of the salt is still, I still got the disease, but I tend to go later in the season now. Go to World Finals in September.
Nice. What's a couple records you have out there?
So my biggest record is actually in Arkansas, 178 on the Buell. And then at Bonneville, my top speed is 152, but on a 60-year-old motorcycle. So
nice.
But we're in here to talk about me. We're here to talk about Sturgis.
Yeah, right? Yeah, this year's the 85th. Should be pretty packed, I'm sure.
When was the first year you came?
That I came?
Yeah.
What was that, 98, I think? Yeah, this is my 27th year in a row, which I never really planned on that happening. But yeah, we used to camp at Nemo back in the day. But back then I just had my stock Sportster that I was painting and stuff coming out here. My first year was with my buddy Dan Fecky, Josh Young, and Brian Ferguson. We rented a Penske truck and came out here and camped out at Nemo. But yeah, I used to bring our rock climbing gear out here and rock climb and all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty cool. Out of those 27 years, I got to enjoy Sturgis a whole different way than just being in the industry and doing the stuff I do nowadays, which I really like too. It's a lot of fun. We're doing a Sportster show now. Do what?
I think it's wild you've been doing it for 27 years straight. But that makes me also think of you're a lifer at this point. Like a bunch of us are. Like we were just partying kids back then. You know what I mean? I've been hanging out with you for 20 years on and off at different events all over the country. But to see where things have landed now. I remember when we were the young guys and thinking about what's it like for those old dudes who've been doing this their whole life, and now it's kind of approaching that for us. But I still feel the same, and it makes me as excited as it did back then. But to see the professional that you've become, Pat, you're a famous custom bike builder at this point. That's where it landed. How many covers, how many articles, and then from my side, I've been doing business in the industry the same amount of time. It's just wild how we became, from our roots of just wild kids drinking and riding motorcycles, turns into the professionalism that's landed there. And I do Whiteknuckler brand. I got a marketing agency, build websites for all kinds of folks. Just relaunched the V-Twin Visionary site literally from your mobile office. This truck right here.
Nice.
Turn it live on my laptop while we're cruising.
Yeah, it's interesting. I always just joke, and I'm like, I just pretty much turn my life into my job. Because I'd be doing all this regardless of what I was doing or what I'd be working and trying to make a living at. You mentioned we used to be young guys. It's kind of crazy. I remember, I think it was Maryland did an article in Ironworks magazine, and it was titled Youngblood. And it was me, and it's kind of crazy. I'm like, I still feel like a young blood, but maybe I'm not a young blood anymore. I think I still approach it that way. I don't really know how any other way to approach it. Besides, it's just still so much fun, and there's still so much life in it. It's this is my 27th year, and I'm pretty much still as excited to come to Sturgis as I ever have been.
I think what's cool about that part too, though, is never got jaded. You know what I mean? The magic's still in it. We don't hate on different generations of people. I love hanging out with the gray hairs and learning something. Or if I get an opportunity to hang out with someone in their early 20s and show them a thing or two, I like that about our generation of people involved in motorcycle. I feel like we're more diverse and less cliquey and that makes it more fun in general. Like that we're just approachable and we want to hang out and learn things or teach things, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely true. Like, you know, I look at a lot of things I have planned to do this week, you know. The Sportster Showdown Camp Zero, that's just full of a bunch of young people and liveliness and craziness and mini bikes crashing all over the place, great time. So where, you know, Monday night I got invited to go hang out with Dave Perowitz and some of the hamster guys at, which that's not all old guys, but I'm just saying the difference in events that I'm going to, you know. Monday night I'll be going to a really nice dinner, you know, that's really cool of established gentlemen, Law Tigers. It's our buddies. We do a lot of stuff with those guys, sponsor them. I feel like we should steal one of those Law Tiger inflatables now.
Just call Lionel on the back end.
We won't even call him. Lionel, if you come up missing a big inflatable and you see this later on, Zach's got it.
Yeah.
I tried to talk him out of it, but yep, so here we go. This is LaSalle. See how busy it's going to be this year. It's 85th. What time is it? 3-ish? Yep, 2:30. So it's, what is today? Friday?
Yep.
Yeah, it may not be getting too crazy busy yet. I'd say, you know, by tomorrow or so, more people will start pouring in.
Did you ever set up on Main Street or anything? Roselle Street?
Let's see. Back in the day, we used to do some Nicky Lot stuff. No, I think the first place I ever set up was the Thunderdome. I think they still call it the Thunderdome. It's down here through town on the left. I used to set up there with not Nicky Lot. Who was that? Twisted Choppers, Bare Knuckle Choppers. A couple of us used to sit down there. Oh, maybe we can stop and get the truck washed. Should I stop and see if they wash trucks? Well,
Where are you set up at?
So we're going to be at Full Throttle, embedded with Mama Tried and the Michael Lichter curation there for the industry party. We're going to be set up there the entire week, and then we'll also have an activation with V-Twin Visionary at the museum here in downtown Sturgis, and then going to be supporting motorcycle missions in Deadwood on the, I want to say it's the 6th, I think. We're doing just a little pop-up store there, and I made knives from Whiteknuckler brand to support motorcycle missions, and the proceeds of those knives are going to veterans causes. And I was recently asked to be a board member of Motorcycle Missions, and I actually built their website as well, so we've been having a lot of fun supporting some veterans causes.
Yeah, really quick plug for Bear and Whiteknuckler brand. You know, Bear started building knives, amazing business, and his support of the motorcycle community is just kind of insane. You know, it's like we've done a lot of shows, and Bear's the first one to just jump out and, you know, be like, hey, let's, you know, give you a knife for every class. You know, it's like he's just so supportive, and I know he does that throughout the industry with a lot of people. So we really appreciate that, Bear, being part of what we do, and I know everybody else in the industry does too. Whiteknuckler has become a household name.
Bro, that means a lot coming from you. Thank you. It's a labor of love, and you know, every one of those knives, it is selfless in some ways because I want to support builders, and how that came to be, our usable trophy program is what we call it, is that I saw one too many times where builders are trucking bikes cross country, paying for hotel rooms, spending money on gas, and you know, they get a piece of laser cut steel as a trophy. I was like, we can do better. Let's give them something that's a memento. So we engrave the name of the show, usually on the spine, and like, you know, what year it was and whatnot. It's subtle, but it's still tied directly to their win and their presence in the show. And then every one of them is a walking advertisement. So it's, you know, I can't say that it's completely selfless, because someone sees that knife on someone's belt and they're like, what is that? Where'd you get it? And that's part of what makes it work, is it's so much community. But then all of those people, when they use the product and see how it's American made and how sharp and the quality level, then they become advocates. So it's like, it's a real win-win situation. It helps my company and it makes me feel good to do stuff for the industry. But Pat, back to your comments, dude, it touches my heart to hear that from a homie like you, that you respect that. Thank you so much, dude.
Oh, no problem, brother. I still have one of your, when you kind of started doing knives and you were doing out of the railroad spikes, I still have one of those knives that you sent me just out of the blue. I opened up this box and here's this railroad spike knife. Dude, that thing, I can't tell you how many boxes and stuff I opened with that thing, and it's still sharp as can be.
You're about to lose your culinary knife that I might have hit in the shop somewhere.
Really?
Well, what's funny about rail spike knives is normally they won't stay sharp because it's low carbon steel.
Oh, really?
But there's a law in the U.S. that any track that has a radius corner of more than a certain amount of degrees or whatever, they have to use high carbon spikes. So I made all my rail spike knives out of high carbon steel spikes.
Slicky. What's up?
How's traffic?
It's nice.
Have fun.
All right, brother. Silicky Speed. Well, we got Kenwood over here. Dude, give this 2 more days and you won't even be moving up and down this street. So yeah, Bear, it's like literally by the time we split ways here for a minute, we're going to be in the same world for a week, but we might cross paths 2 more times this week and see each other.
Well, I'll see you at the sports. I'll see you at the Sportster Showdown, and I'll see you at
Sports
the
Showdown at
the
Bikini
Beach.
What all the shows? Showdown.
Yeah, Showdown, and then Bikini Beach. Let's see who we have over here. Harley. Yeah, Harley's set up over here. And they're set up. Is Harley still set up out in? They're set up at Outlaw Square in Deadwood, also, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
You know, cold water for $2. That's no Woodstock 99.
That's legit pricing.
Dude, I thought I was going to miss my deployment. I literally went to Woodstock 4 days before, and like it.
You went to Woodstock 4 days before your deployment?
Right. We had a few days off before, and then literally
Well,
like.
that seems legit, though. You would think that's plenty of time to go hang out.
Right,
at a concert.
but I was figuring I was gonna might miss it. Like,
Yeah.
after all that went down. But I pulled it off. We got back with like 12 hours to spare or something.
Enough time to take a shower, brush your teeth, and go to sleep.
Probably the most time you had before you got deployed. Until you got deployed. Magic Mike. Yo. Yeah, we're down here downtown right now coming through. And then I'm hollering at Jay Ryan once I get here by Steel Pony, and they're going to follow me over. Did you run into Dozer and Brandy? I'm grabbing Jay Ryan on my way through. Did you run into Brandy and Dozer?